They say it's all in my head, I still feel the pain. Every time it's cold and every time it rain, feel like ice water running through my veins. Since the day I got hit, I ain't been the same. See my dog die, they blew out his brains all on the window, feel like window pane. Had to suck it up and told it to the game. Glizzy on my hip, I'm standing on my name.
Whoa, what it do, people? I said I'm gonna do this story here different. You hear me? I'm gonna do this one here while I'm walking around the neighborhood. You dig, bro? Some people classify this as the trenches. You hear me? So I'm gonna do this story here while I'm walking around the trenches. You hear me? So I said I was gonna talk to y'all about Lena, you hear me? So y'all remember I told y'all about Lena before, and I told she was a little chick that my brother used to fuck with, you hear me? And you know, I told y'all about all that in the stories with Appaloosas and you know whatnot. So I told y'all she was a G'd up chick, you hear me? Like, you dig? She be into all that shit, like, she be into hustling, she tote them guns, you hear me? She into robbing, jacking, you dig? She set niggas up, all that shit. But this here situation right here, like this happened here because of my brother. My brother went to jail, you hear me? So, my brother was in jail. And, like, you know, she was like, you know, like riding with that nigga. She was with that nigga like every day, you know, doing little pickups, drop-offs. You dig? When he, you know, so she knew. I could say she met a lot of the different people that he was doing business with, you hear me? So when he went to jail, she was like she was gonna keep on going, you hear me? But let me tell you, she a little shiesty chick too, on the cool, you hear me? Like, yeah, she cool, she G'd up and all that, but she shiesty too, you hear me? So it come this day, and at this time right here, I'm working at the Rouses on the lakefront, you hear me? And so it come this day, and she do a deal with this nigga, and the nigga was spending like $2,000 with her, you hear me? But she ain't have no more product, you hear me? And instead of telling the nigga that she didn't have no more product, or at least getting the nigga money and really going get him some product, she took the money, cause the nigga, like, you know, he used to motherfucker doing good business, so he ain't trip off it. He gave her the bread with no problem, you hear me? So he give her the bread, and she called me, you hear me? And she called me, and she like, you know, asking me what should she do. She tell her she run the whole little, you know, run the situation down to me about what she did, and she trying to tell me who the dude is and all that. And like, you know, I got my own people. My brother got his own people, so I don't know all the people that he deal with. So I'm trying to tell her, I don't know, dude. I don't know who you talking about. And she kept trying to make me know who the dude is. So I'm like, man, I don't know. So, you know, she like, you think I should, you know, go with the move or whatever? And so I'm like, shit, you know, by me not knowing, nigga, shit, man, my loyalty don't lie, but you know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck, you hear me? Because at that time, you know, I was still a fucked up individual. So, you know, I'll man some fucked up shit. So I'm like, shit, I don't give a fuck. That's on you. You hear me? So she like, you think your brother gonna be mad and all that? I'm like, fuck, I don't know, fuck. Cause, you know, around this time, like, he wasn't hurting for money while he in the can, but he needed money and shit like that. You know, they paying lawyer fees and everything else. Putting money on the phone, putting money in his account and everything else. So every dollar count, you hear me? And so after I told her all that, I guess she decided she gonna go with the move on dude. You hear me? And so this nigga, he was out the AWOL. You hear me? The little nigga was out the AWOL. And what it turned out to be was that the nigga wasn't, he was it was like, I wanna say about 2 or 3 niggas in on the same, you know, they were supposed to be scoring together. So it wasn't just his money. You heard me? So when she never came back, it was like it had been 2 days. You heard me? It went like 2 days. Dude blowing her phone up and everything. And she'll tell me, she like, oh Lord, this him calling me, or whatever. And so I'm, you know, nigga laughing about this shit. Cause I'm like, you know, my mentality at this point in time in life is fuck a nigga. You hear me? So she like, man, what I'ma do? And I'm like, man, fuck that nigga, you hear me? Don't answer. I answer and tell that nigga he dead, you hear me? He ain't getting nothing. Like, he should know by now. Get it in blood, you hear me? So, shit, I guess dude must've, you did, had the same mentality. Oh, she playing games like that, you hear me? And he can't get in touch with my brother because my brother in jail. Because, you know, normal circumstances, he would have called my brother. And, well, normal circumstances, that shit wouldn't have happened. You hear me? But he ain't dealing with bro. He dealing with her. And she don't have the plug. So, you dig? But she could have done some other shit. You know, looking at hindsight, she could have done some other shit. And at the same time, looking at hindsight, I could have done better and told her, you know, how to get some more shit or whatever, set that up for her. But like I said, I was a fucked up individual too. So I'm like, fuck that nigga, you hear me? So anyway, 2 days go by. Now it's like the 3rd day now. So like I said, I was at work this day. I remember I was at work that day, you hear me? And she was paranoid as a motherfucker this day. And I was riding with her before I went to work. Like, I was riding with her. Matter of fact, she the one brought me to work, you hear me? And she kept on talking about it. She like, Lord, son. Man, I know them dudes know this car and all that. Like, dog, what you think I should do? And all that, like, you know, it's like it's really fucking with her now. Like, she really paranoid like a motherfucker, you hear me? And like, that shit made me think, like, when people will say, like, you feel like you can feel that shit coming, like you can feel something gonna happen, shit ain't right, you can feel it. Like, that shit, like, it was like that, like she could feel something was gonna happen. So she had to drop me off at work, you hear me? And like I said, I was working at the Rouse's on the lakefront. So the route we took, you had to pass through the AWOL, but we passed through the outskirts. So we going up Franklin, you hear me? So we go straight up Franklin. And she dropped me off. I get out the car, I go in the store. And I'm talking about, like, you hear me? I clocked in. I go to the back. In probably about 5 minutes, I couldn't even start my work. 5 minutes. She calling me hysterical like a motherfucker, you heard me? She like, man, hold up. About, like, she called me. She frantic as a motherfucker, you hear me? She like, son, man, son, you ain't gonna believe this, son. Come outside. I'm like, what the fuck, you hear me? I'm fucked up cause, like, you hear me? She had just dropped me off. So I'm like, what? I'm like, what, you ain't never left? She like, I did, son. Come outside, son. Come outside. I can't talk to you over the phone. So, fuck. I'm like, man, what the fuck going on? So I go outside, you hear me? I hop in the car with her. Man, when I jump in the car with her, I'm talking about she's shaking. Like, you hear me? Her hands shaking and shit like that, you hear me? she trying to ask me like, could I take off from work or whatever like that. I'm like, dog, what the fuck happened, you hear me? She like, dog, son, them niggas try to kill me, son. I'm like, what? She like, man, son, them niggas just shot at me, son. I know that was dudes, son, for real. And I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. She like, for real, son? Son, I was going in the store. She like, she was going in the store on Franklin, you hear me? The little family farm, family ranch market, whatever that shit is, on Franklin, that's across the street from the Quickest or whatever, you hear me? Like, they got the little gas station Quickest, and they got the other store across the street, you hear me? She was going to that store, and she like, when she was walking in the store, she like, she just had a feeling, and she turned back, and then boom, 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 boom. She like, they bust all the glass out the store and all this. And I'm like, son, you fucking with me, son. You lying. She like, son, you don't see me, son? And like, I'm looking at her hands, she's shaking. So I'm like, dog. I'm like, you sure that was the nigga? And she like, yeah, son, who else, son? Who else it gonna be, son? He was with 2 other niggas or whatever like that, you hear me? And she like, the nigga hollered out that, you know, she dead, you hear me? So I'm like, man, what the fuck? I'm like, damn, son. So she like, son, I need you to come with me, you hear me? So I'm like, come with you? Like, man, I'm at work, like, what you want me to do? She like, son, I gotta get a tool, son. Like, I don't know, son. Then it's in my mama car, son. They know this car, son. What if my mama be in this car and they shoot my mama or whatever like that? So now I'm like, man, fuck, son. I'm like, man, you tripping, man. You hear me? So I'm trying to run the plays in my head, like, what to do. You hear me? So, like, I couldn't really, you know, come up with nothing. So I'm like, shit, man, you gotta duck off. You gotta lay low. You hear me? Until we could come up with a little game plan or whatever. So you hear me? I'm like, you know, I let her know I ain't about to take off from work, you hear me? Cause, you know, I'm trying to do my little thing. I ain't trying to fuck up, you know, what I got going on, you dig? So I told her where to go at, and I sent her by my people out in the east, you hear me? To just lay low until I got off, and told her, you know, don't ride around in that car and shit, you dig? She don't listen, but that's a whole nother story though. But like I said, I sent her by my people. She went by my people. I had got her tooled up and whatever like that. And I'll tell y'all how that situation got resolved at another time. But yeah, that was the time when nigga tried to kill Lena stupid ass because she had jacked them dudes. Went with the move on them dudes out there, $2,000, you hear me? So let that be a lesson to y'all that be want to jack people and run off on the plug twice. That ply shit, nigga be trying to kill you, you hear me? For real. So if that's what you want to do, you better know what you doing and know what come with that, you hear me? I'm out. Culture.
Smoke me a nigga, they gon' feel my pain. Draco on the passenger side. Don't mind me, I'm tryna beat the odds. If I die today, I meet you in the sky. If you ain't make it up, hold my soul fried. Even after I die, still love to my guys, even